Welcome to the Full Moon Film Buff, episode 53. We're going to talk about the Panther Women from 1967. I rented this from Scarecrow Video. I only recently learned about this film from one of the Wolfpack pointing it out to me, so thank you very much. If you suspect I'm missing a movie, let me know. I absolutely probably am, and be a big help. As always, we're going to talk about the prominent crew and cast. The film was directed by Rene Cardona, written by Alfredo Salazar, with effects makeup by Antonio Munoz Ravello, billed as Antonio Munoz. Rene Cordova was a Cuban-born actor and director who has a huge list of credits. The cast includes Ariadne Welter as Loretta Venus, Elizabeth Campbell as the Golden Ruby, Maria Douglas as Antanasa, Tongole as Tongole, billed as Yolanda Montes Tongole, Eric del Castillo as Captain Arturo Diaz, Manuel El Loco Valdez as Leocadio, Gerardo Zaputa as El Angel, Genaro Moreno as Ramon Petra Santa, billed as Geno Morena, Jorge Mondragon as Professor Rafael Petra Santo, and Elaine Saldivar as Paquita Pietra Santa, billed as Nina Eleta Saldivar. Ariadne Welter lived all over the world as a child and ended up speaking 8 different languages, which impresses the hell out of me. Elizabeth Campbell was born in America but worked primarily south of the border. Tongolele was a famous dancer and actress born Yolanda Yvonne Montes Farrington. Eric del Castillo has 299 credits as an actor. Holy cow! He's got 2 credits from 2024, so he's working today. Manuel El Loco Valdez is the brother of German Valdez, whom we saw in La Casa del Terror. He was also a comic actor. Jorge Mondragon has a huge list of credits, but I couldn't find much about him. This film is Elena Saldivar's only credit. Gerardo Zapata began wrestling professionally as a young man before switching and working in the film industry. This movie seems to be an exception to his typical roles as thugs, gangsters, and monsters. I do recommend this film. It's not the best. Well, it's not the best luchador movie. It's not the best female-led movie. It's not the best cat person movie, but it's also not boring. It is sweet and charming. It's a fun, old-school horror film that's really more of an action-adventure, crime-fighting pulp story. It would have made a really good serial. I enjoyed it. Now, according to my research, this is part of a 6 or perhaps 7 film series referred to as Los Luchadores, aka the Wrestling Women. I got a little confused, the most famous being the Wrestling Women versus the Aztec Mummy. The character of Loreto Venus changed actresses, but the Golden Ruby was played by Elizabeth Campbell every time. Now, let's talk about the synopsis. The Panther Women perform blood sacrifices before the altar of Satanica to resurrect Elohim, the leader of their cult who died over 200 years ago. Hector Pietra Santa killed him with a flaming sword made by druids, which sounds pretty metal. The cultists have sworn to destroy every descendant of this bloodline as revenge and as part of reviving their leader. There are 3 Pietra Santa family members left alive. Cut to a ladies' tag team wrestling match. Our heroines, Loreto Venus and the Golden Ruby, emerge victorious. The senior members of the Pietra Santa clan, Professor Raphael and his son Ramon, take the ladies out to dinner. A scantily clad woman dances to a drum as a floor show. By the way, you can tell who the Panther Women are by their heavy eye makeup. Loreto is the professor's niece, so she might be a target too. The Panther Women were kind enough to warn the professor in a threatening letter. The professor tells Ramon and Loreto the whole story. Ramon is a widower with a daughter, so she is the youngest target. He adds that the cult worships Bast and has the power to turn into panthers, so name checks out. A Panther Woman enters a graveyard mausoleum. She opens Elohim's tomb. The professor works late. He leaves the sword with his granddaughter. A werepanther jumps out of the closet and claws him to death. The police captain investigates. Loreto tells the captain that she's also going to assist him. The captain wants even more luchador help. We see El Angel wrestling. Then he gets a call from the captain on his spy wristwatch. Angel has a whole high-tech crime-fighting lab. Ramon is dating a very suspicious woman. Her name is Tongo. She has a streak of white in her hair and dark cat eye makeup. Ramon introduces his daughter Paquito to Tonga, and the kid knows right away that Tongo is bad news. Angel follows Tongo home, so he also learns that she's evil. He calls for backup, then everyone follows the cult leader to a warehouse. One of the cops hides behind Ruby. A fight breaks out. Loretto, Ruby, and the captain take names. A little person beats up the cowardly cop. Angel shows up and proves to be the difference maker. Ruby swoons over Angel. The dude is fairly jacked. Tongo lures Ramon to pick her up. Panther cultists chase Angel to kill him, but Angel's bulletproof and fireproof cape saves his life. Regular old Batman south of the border here. Tongo transforms into a panther and kills Roman, dragging him to the crypt. Loretto flat out lies to Paquito about her father's death. The second execution provides the cult with sufficient blood to reanimate Elohim. He must personally remove the last surviving family member. After the blood is poured into his tomb, he rises. He does not look good. He targets Paquita. Elohim kills the 3 cops assigned to watch over Paquita, but not before one gets a last warning off to Angel. Elohim sneaks into the house, but the druid's sword prevents him from getting close to Paquita. The Panther women, disguised as masked wrestlers, challenge Loretta Venus and the Golden Ruby to a tag team match as a ruse to separate the girl from the sword. By the way, our heroines are easily a head taller than either of their foes. Hell, Ruby even takes on both by herself for a while and is winning. Angel learns the truth about the Panther women's transformation powers. The Panther women transform just their claws and do some serious damage to Loretto and Ruby before escaping the arena. Angel steps in at the local park. The captain shoots and kills one Panther woman and injures Tongo. While everyone's busy with this, Tongo sneaks through an unwatched window and spirits Paquito away towards Elohim's mausoleum crypt. When the heroes discover Paquita is gone, they interrogate the cult leader and head towards the cemetery as soon as they learn that that's where Elohim is. Elohim hides in his tomb with Paquita. I am really not sure why he doesn't just kill her and finish this. The heroes figure out how to open the tomb. As Elohim is about to finally kill Paquita, Loretto stabs him. He bursts into flames and falls back into the crypt. The captain gives a big speech about how El Angel is a hero from heaven. Unfortunately, there are no on-screen transformations. They cut away from the Panther women and cut back to them post-transformation, which aren't good looks. It's odd. In many respects, the movie looks great. Well lit, solid camera angles, tight editing. And it's just that the makeup doesn't look good. The women wear a black catsuit with some fur glued to the shoulders. They wear a furry cowl and have bad fangs. Oh, and long, wicked-looking fingernails / claws. I was reminded of Santo and Blue Demon versus Dracula and the Werewolf. They both feature modern-day servants seeking to resurrect a long-dead villain by killing the descendants of the individual who defeated them originally using a magical weapon. The family is targeted from oldest to youngest. One member of the family is seduced by one of the villains. Almost a gender-swapped remake. Almost. So let's talk about themes. First, I'm really glad that this project gave me a chance to watch a luchadora film with strong female wrestling presence. It's a perfect opportunity to research that part of luchador culture. The history of luchadoras, or female wrestlers in Mexico, is filled with trailblazers who defied social norms. One of these pioneers was Magdalena Caballero, also known as La Dama Enmascarada, or the Masked Lady. Caballero was born in 1925 into a circus family where she developed her strength and her agility skills. She became the first Mexican national women's champion, even during a time while female wrestling was banned in Mexico City. Caballero's contributions to women's wrestling in Mexico cannot be overstated. She appeared in several lucha films, further solidifying her legacy. Women's wrestling in Mexico faced many challenges and restrictions throughout history. In the 1950s, there was a ban on women wrestling just in Mexico City due to societal anxieties about gender, class, and race. This ban lasted for about 30 years, but it didn't stop the rise of female luchadoras. And this brings me to the question, were Loretto Venus and the Golden Ruby actual professional wrestlers? As near as I can tell, the answer is no. The two women appeared in several different non-luchador films. My first clue was that the two women essentially repeat the exact same wrestling maneuver over and over and over when they appear in the ring. I also assumed El Angel was an established luchador like Santo or the Blue Demon, but I can't find any evidence of a wrestler using that name and character before 2005. This character is being played by an actor we've seen in Santo movies. My best interpretation of the information I could find is that El Angel is a generic ripoff of Santo himself with a little Batman thrown in. Instead of the Saint, we have the Angel. The two wrestlers share very similar costumes and colors. I would love to get input from anyone else who has any additional information or interpretations on this particular relationship, but that's how I see it right now. Now, this is our third film with cat people, as opposed to wolf people. And 2 of those 3 films have cat women. Female shapeshifters aren't unheard of course. A quick review of the 53 movies that I've watched so far has 10 female shapeshifters, but that's less than 20%. So why are females overrepresented as cat people? Let's quickly review. As someone who owns and has owned cats and dogs, I know it's not that felines are any less lethal than canines or lupines. Big cats and wolves belong to different taxonomic families and exhibit distinct physical, behavioral, and ecological characteristics. Here are some key differences between big cats, such as lions, tigers, and leopards, and wolves. Big cats have retractable claws, which they use for hunting. They have powerful jaws and sharp teeth designed for gripping and tearing flesh. Big cats are typically solitary and territorial animals. Exceptions include lions, which are known for their social structures and pride. Big cats are ambush predators, relying on stealth and a burst of speed to catch their prey. They're known for their powerful and quick strikes. Big cats use vocalizations, body language, and scent for communication. For example, lions roar to establish territory and communicate with pride members. Wolves have non-retractable claws, adapted for digging and grasping. Wolves have a strong bite with specialized teeth for both tearing and crushing. Wolves are highly social animals that live in packs. This pack structure facilitates cooperative hunting, raising offspring, and defense against predators. Wolves are cursorial predators, meaning that they pursue and run down their prey over longer distances. They use teamwork to bring down larger prey. Wolves are known for their complex vocalizations, including howls, barks, and growls, which play a crucial role in pack communication and coordination. While big cats and wolves share some similarities as carnivorous predators, their evolutionary paths and adaptations have led to distinct differences in their anatomy, behavior, and ecological roles. To me, the most important differences are the retractable claws and the ambush hunting style employed by big cats. Cats look nicer, prettier. They have that same killer instinct, but that instinct is less obviously expressed than in wolves. Shoot, even wolves lost much of the extreme symbols of being a predator as they were domesticated and turned into dogs. These discrepancies are reflected in considering cats as more feminine and wolves or dogs as more masculine. This then manifests in stories about humans shifting into predators. Cats are often associated with traits like grace, independence, and mystery. Societies tend to associate those attributes with the feminine, thus, Catwoman. Finally, I want to at least mention the other film on the DVD double feature that I got from Scarecrow Video, The Batwoman. This bonkers film is a knockoff of the popular live-action Batman TV show North of the Border. Margot Robbie, the titular heroine, is an immensely rich heiress who uses her fortune to fight crime, has become a master martial artist and wrestler, dominates all sports, and fights evil in a very, very skimpy purple satin bikini. Very silly and very entertaining to watch. So, if you like lycanthropes, like, share, and subscribe. Contribute your thoughts and additional observations in the comments down below. Let me know what I missed and what you noticed. Next, I plan on discussing The Night of the Werewolf from 1981. Keep your eye on the moon, a silver bullet in the chamber, and we'll see you back here next episode.